Hi, I'm Cecile Alderson, and for my interview for this week's assignment, I interviewed a friend of mine who's been in the field for a long time. Her name is Dr. Felicia Pollard. She works for the Pontotoc City School District. She is Director of Curriculum Instruction. She's also over their gifted, and she is the Director of the Pontotoc County Early Learning Collaborative there. And so we spoke over the phone and had an interview that consisted of some email questions and also just a long talk over the telephone. So the first question, what are the current policies or procedures for parent-teacher conferences at your school? And how are these guidelines communicated to teachers and parents? Currently, for their collaborative, they are asking teachers to have at least 2 parent conferences for the school year. Ideally, these would be done in person, but their collaborative has a very unique nature, and so they're not all housed in the same area, and so it can be a little more difficult to get their parents in face to face. They currently have 11 teachers total. They have some of their teachers in their local daycares. So they have 4 daycares that house 7 teachers. They have 2 district teachers in the classroom at their public school, and they also house 2 Head Start classrooms in their public school setting. So because of the daycare nature, it involves those parents more of a different feeling than they would have as their child attends school. Usually for daycare settings, parents are dropping their kids off basically for childcare for the day. And so they're not necessarily thinking on the same wavelength as having their children attend school each day. So they don't always prioritize what their child's learning and how they're progressing, and frankly just don't care as much about what they're doing each day. So what they do is the teachers are told at the beginning of each year the expectation that they are required to have at least 2 parent conferences. They work as a team to ensure to plan those days for parents ahead of time and communicate with them to give them a heads up to make arrangements for their schedules. And if the time options that they provide for them do not work for their schedule, then they try to work around and accommodate those parents to make it work. For instance, coming in early before school, working for a time whenever they drop their children off, or picking them up in the afternoons. They also do offer Zoom calls if a parent is willing or needs that option as well. Question number 2, how do you ensure parent-teacher conferences are conducted fairly and consistently across the different classrooms? For parent-teacher conferences, they use a shared letter, and the letter allows the parents to choose their meeting time, the way that they're going to meet with the teacher, whether it be in person, a Zoom call, or even by phone. Or if they refuse or deny that they want to come in and have a parent conference, then they're able to fill out that form and provide a signature so that they are aware they've been provided the opportunity for a parent conference if they would like one. They spend lots of times in PLC practicing how to prepare teachers for the conference. They use a form that is similar for everyone, where it's got somewhat of an agenda, has information that they need to talk about, such as data and that sort of thing. And they also provide lots of support staff for children who get extra support, things such as speech therapist. They provide EL interpreters if that's needed for those families as well. And they just like to provide a united front for these children, especially if they have some concerns or areas that they need to talk to parents about. Number 3, what kind of support or training do teachers receive regarding effective parent-teacher conferences? And are there professional development opportunities focused on this area? They like to role play in their PLCs, and they share experiences, especially from veteran teachers who've been doing it for a while. Because of their unique nature, a lot of the teachers that are in the daycare settings don't have the same kind of experiences as those in the public classroom. So they go through big discussion about exactly what should be talked about. They really try to steer it towards their major concerns about how their child's learning and how their child's progressing, and try to stay away from their emotions and their feelings, and it really tries to be directed to be more data driven. Things that they discuss in their conference are they do talk about their MCAS or their iStation data that they've taken. They do a Brigant screener. They discuss that. They talk about attendance concerns. If the child is missing a lot of days or coming in late each day, they address that information. They also address behavior concerns if there are those, and also leave an open spot for parent comments and questions and that sort of thing, so that everything that is needed to be talked about is available on one information sheet, and they can keep it all together on this one form. Number 4, how does the school support teachers and parents in preparing for and participating in conferences? She was very transparent and said that their school could probably do a better job preparing parents ahead of time. They do send invitations, but they rely a lot on just word of mouth between the teacher and the parent to prepare them for conferences that are coming up. And just to also help parents understand that this will be a process that will carry with them throughout their child's school journey. So prepping them for older grades, kindergarten and first grade, as they move ahead, that parent conferences are something that's common in their school district. They talk about bridging the connection and the relationships between the parents and home, and they're really working hard ahead of time to build relationships with their parents. They provide parental involvement activities in the summer leading up to school, and also at the beginning of school that involves families coming to school and participating, to hopefully make connections and build relationships that encourages parents to come in and to have good conversations about their child, and just also to make it clear and understand that you just want to talk about their progress, and that it's not about, I think some parents, she felt, believed that their child was in trouble if they were asking to come in for a parent conference, and just relaying that information, that it's not that they're in trouble or that they're doing wrong, and that there's lots of good things to talk about for their child. Number 5, what strategies does the school use to encourage high parent participation in conferences? And are there specific initiatives aimed at building parents from diverse backgrounds? Again, they just worked really hard to build relationships with their parents ahead of time, and including all the families in these parental involvement events. I know she said they recently had an event at their homecoming football night that encouraged parents to come, and so they could collaborate with other people that were part of their collaborative. They don't incentivize participation, but that she said that could be a way to ensure attendance and responses. For parents of the diverse backgrounds, they rely on that support staff to help them through that, to help them outreach and communicate along with the classroom teacher, and use those relationships to help encourage attendance. So again, they use those support staff such as an interpreter or the speech therapy, or if it's a child with special needs, then they include the SPED teacher. If there's any other things that they receive such as OT or PT, they involve those therapists as well. And number 6, how does the school handle situations where parents are unresponsive or unable to attend? When parents are unresponsive, they continue to reach out. They make phone calls, send messages, emails, and if the parent is not able to get through, then as the director of the collaborative, she reaches out and tries to get them to come in. Sometimes when you hear from someone a little higher up, it makes them come in a little sooner. And so, again, they offer the form to sign a way that they would like to participate in a conference. And if some people just choose not to come, then they have a signature for that that says that they were offered an opportunity to come in and talk about their progress. They do send the data reports home that they have from their MCAS and iStation results, their Brigants, and so that parents do have a copy of that stuff at home for them. But they do work really hard to try to accommodate parent schedules especially in the daycare settings where they have working parents, and try to find times that fit their schedules if they really do want to come in and have a parent conference. We had a great conversation. It was interesting to hear her perspective from her collaborative. I am part of an early learning collaborative in Oxford, and so it's interesting to see their unique dynamic and how they function and how they make it work. It's a little harder for her to collaborate all of her teachers together because they're all in different areas, housed in different areas with the different daycares, and then also in the public school setting. So it's interesting to hear their perspective and how they work through parent conferences on their end. So it was a great conversation. I enjoyed talking with her.